Hey there, sewing superheroes. Welcome to day 25 of the Vlogmas Sewing Challenge. And welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome to the family. We're all about fun, creativity, and conquering those sewing projects like the rock stars that we are. And if you are returning, thank you for hanging out with me as we wrap up our 25-day sewing challenge. Yes, you heard that right. We've been sewing our hearts out every single day this month, and today on this grand finale of our festive sewing journey, we're making something that will blow your socks off: the Quick-Access Drawstring Bag. Now let me paint you a picture. Imagine a bag that is cute, functional, and super customizable. A bag that says, I'm organized, I'm stylish, and totally on top of my game. That's what we're making today. Whether it's for the gym, a quick trip to the farmer's market, or just because you want to flaunt your sewing skills, this bag is a total showstopper. Before we dive into the nitty-gritty of sewing magic, let's take a moment to appreciate how far we've come. From zipper pouches to tote bags, from easy projects to slightly, why did I do this to myself projects. You've stuck with me, and I couldn't be prouder of what we've accomplished together. So grab your fabrics, pour yourself a cup of something cozy, and let's finish this year on a high note with the project that's equal parts fabulous and functional. Alright, let's check out what we need for this masterpiece, because every superhero needs the right tools for the job. Now let's dive in. First things first, we're going to talk about what you're going to need. So grab your favorite fabrics and then let's cut out these pieces. Your back exterior and the lining. You'll be cutting 2 lining pieces and 1 exterior piece, each measuring 18 inches high by 15.5 inches wide. Next, we're going to need the middle panel bottom. This piece is going to be cut at 9.5 inches wide by 13.5 inches high. Next is the middle panel top, cut at 9.5 inches wide by 5 inches high. Next will be our zipper pocket pieces. We're cutting 2 lining pieces, each measuring 9.5 inches wide by 8 inches high. Next, we're now going to cut the side panels. So for the side panels, you're cutting 2 exterior pieces and 2 mesh pieces. Each will be measuring 3.5 inches wide by 18 inches high. So the mesh and the side panel exteriors are the same dimensions. Next, we're going to need our drawstring, and we're cutting 2 pieces, 2 exterior pieces actually, each measuring 2 inches high by 16 inches wide. So this is the drawstring channel actually. So for the drawstring channel, you're cutting 2 exterior pieces of 2 inches high by 16 inches wide. Next, we're going to be cutting our drawstring side connectors, and for this we will need 4 pieces cut at 2 inches high by 2 inches wide. So this is definitely a square. Next, we're going to need our drawstring cut at 75 inches long, and we need 2 of that. We need some clips, we need matching thread, we need a pair of scissors, we need a fabric marker, we need a measuring tape, your trusty sewing machine, you need a zipper tape, and this is also cut at 9.5 inches long. We need a ruler, and that's basically all that you need for this project. Alright, let's tackle the front zipper pocket, because this is where the magic happens. That is where function meets fashion. First, we're going to be notching the centers of our zipper and pocket pieces. So you'll be notching the centers of the zipper, fold in 2 and then notch on both sides. You're also going to be notching the middle panel, the top and the bottom. You'll be measuring that as well. You'll be notching those as well. And then our zipper pocket pieces, you also be notching this. So you're doing this so that everything is kept like properly aligned or lined up when you start to sew. Once notching is done, you're going to take one pocket space and then you lay it right side up. You place your zipper on top of this right side up as well, and you're going to clip in place. Once clipping is done, you're going to baste this. That's about 1/4 of an inch from the edge. Once basting is done, you're now going to take the middle panel bottom and you're going to place it on this zipper that's just been basted, right sides together. This makes the zipper to be sandwiched between the middle panel bottom and one of the pocket pieces. You're going to put this in place, get to your sewing machine and stitch at about 3/8 of an inch from the edge. Once this is done, you'll be flipping everything away from the zipper like you're opening a book. Then you're going to, you can press if you wish. Then you'll be top stitching at about 1/8 of an inch from the seam. Note, top stitching is like the yoga pose of sewing. It's all about precision and mindfulness. Make sure your top stitching is as neat as it can be. Next, we're going to be grabbing the other pocket piece. Then you're going to lay it right side up, facing you as well. You repeat what you just did with the zipper at the beginning, where you layered the zipper on top of the lining. So this is the other side of the zipper that has not yet been sewn. We're laying it right side up as well on top of our pocket piece that was right, or that is right side up as well. We're going to clip that in place and you're going to get your sewing machine to paste this at about 1/4 of an inch from the edge. Once this is done, you're going to layer the middle panel top with the black fabric. Make sure you layer it right sides together with the zipper. This way the zipper is now sandwiched between the middle panel top and the other zipper pocket piece. Remember, the other one was sandwiched between the middle panel bottom and that of the other zipper pocket. You're going to stitch at 3/8 of an inch and you're going to flip up and away from the zipper actually. Then you top stitch just like we did earlier at about 1/8 of an inch from the seam. As soon as this is done, you're going to flip this to the wrong side and you're going to clip the pocket pieces now together on both sides. Make sure you flip your middle panel away, both the top and the bottom. Flip them away so that you don't catch them in your stitches. So we're now clipping the sides of the zipper pocket pieces and we're going to trim excess fabric from the bottom edge of the pocket. Once this is done, you're going to stitch the bottom of the pocket short. Once this is done, we're now going to give our bag a bit of personality. How do we do this? You have to take your side panel exteriors and you're going to be basting them to the mesh panels. I'm just showing you there that you do not have to close the sides of the pocket because they will be closed when we sew the side panels to that piece. You're going to take your side panel exteriors, lay them right side facing you. Make sure you pay attention to the direction of your fabric. So we're going to paste this mesh panels to the side panel exteriors. So what we're trying to do here is just to give our bag a that sporty vibe. So I'm going to clip the mesh to the exterior. You head to your sewing machine and baste at about 1/4 of an inch from the edge. You're going to be stitching all the way around. When you're done, you're going to bring back the now prepared middle panel, the one we just prepared with the zipper. You're going to bring it back, making sure everything is right sides together, and you're going to place the mesh panels on both sides, both long sides of the middle panel. Make sure they're right sides together, clip in place. And if at any point you notice that your middle panel is longer than your side panel, make sure you layer it from the bottom, so that we can trim excess fabric from the top. We're trimming excess fabric from the top and not the bottom. Once this is done, you're going to take your sewing machine, stitch at 3/8 of an inch from the edge, flip this out, and you're going to, if you so desire, you can press at this point. But you're going, when you're done, you're going to be top stitching at about 1/8 of an inch from the seam on the side panel. Now our front panel is looking sharp. Before you stitch the side panels, make sure you pay attention to the direction of your fabric, especially if you're using directional fabric. Once this is done, trim excess fabric away from the top. Next, we're going to be prepping the side connectors and the drawstring channels. For the drawstring channels, we'll be measuring 1 inch from the short edges. You're going to be drawing a line 1 inch from the short edges. You're going to fold the raw edges to meet that line. You fold one more time, clip in place, and you're going to top stitch. Then for our side connectors, we're going to be placing 2 right sides together. You're going to stitch along 2 parallel edges. Remember, this is a square, so any edge you pick is fine. Just make sure you're stitching along 2 parallel edges. You would clip in place like you always do to make your life easier. Then you head to your sewing machine to stitch at about 3/8 of an inch as well from the edge. When you're back from the sewing machine, you're going to be turning these connectors right side out. You're going to be pressing it nice and flat. Then you top stitch along the seams at about 1/8 of an inch from the edge. Now you're going to fold these connectors into, then you're going to clip along the raw edges. Then you take to your sewing machine and baste. Now to the drawstring channels. After we are done top stitching the short edges, we're going to fold these channels along the long edge. We're going to fold in two, clip in place, and baste at about 1/4 inch from the edge. Once this is done, you're going to bring your front panel. That's the one with the zipper, the one that we assembled earlier. You bring it back. You would also take the back exterior. Place the front panel on the back exterior to see if they are still of the same dimensions. Technically, there will be a few mismatches. So what you're going to do at this point is you're going to lay them on top of each other to see which is longer, and you just trim both of them sides. As soon as we're done, we're going to notch the center of both pieces, both panels, the front and the back. So I've gone ahead to fold this in two, and then I'm notching especially the top edge of this. Now I'm going to measure 2 inches from the bottom of the front panel. You're going to mark that in place, and this is where you're going to place your side connector. So you're placing your side connectors on that mark, or let's say above that mark. Then you're going to take your same machine to baste at 1/4 inch from the edge. Now we're going to notch the center of the drawstring channels by folding and then notching the center. Here done, you're going to place the front panel right side facing you, and then you place the drawstring channel at the top edge, making sure the notches that you made before or earlier match. Clip in place and pitch at about 1/4 inch from the edge. Repeat with the back panel and the other drawstring channel. Once we're done, we're going to be adding the lining to the front exterior and the back. So you're going to place any of the exteriors right sides facing you. They are going to be placing the lining, the main lining, on top of this wrong side down, so that the right side of the lining, the main lining, and the exterior piece are together. So I'm starting with the front panel. So before then, you notice that I quickly notched the top of my lining so as to get the middle, the center, and so that things can align properly. So now that this is done, you're going to flip the lining away from the exterior. You're flipping the lining away from the front panel, obviously. You're going to press that the seam well, and you're going to be top stitching on top of just the lining. You're just top stitching on the lining and away from the exterior. Once this is done, you flip your lining over under the exterior piece. You clip this in place. Make sure you press very well. Make sure everything is nice and flat. You're going to clip it in place, and you're going to be pasting round the 3 edges, the sides and the bottom, at 1/4 inch from the edge. You'll be repeating this with the back exterior as well. Once you're done with this, you're going to be trimming excess fabric away from the lining. As soon as we're done with trimming the excess fabric away from the lining, we're going to be bringing it all together. Guys, here is the final assembly of this beautiful bag. You'll be placing the main lining, the front panel with the lining already, and the back panel as well with the lining, right sides together, making sure all the edges match, the drawstring channels match, everything align, everything is looking good. And you're going to clip the edges in place. Make sure the side edges are aligning properly, the bottom edges too are aligning properly. We're going to be clipping this in place. You're clipping around the edges, around the sides and the bottom. We are going to be sewing around the three sides at a rate of 1 inch from the edge. Once this is done, we'll be trimming the seam allowance to 1/4 inch. Then we're going to be turning our bag right side out. Make sure your 1/4 inch is really 1/4 inch. You have to be precise here because of what is going to come next. Once our bag is turned right side out, press very well. At this point, you can press it. You can press with a pressing iron. That's if you're using fabric. Press with a pressing iron or with your fingers. Make sure everything is nice, flat, and crisp. Poke out the corners of your bag with a blunt tool. Then you're going to head to your sewing machine one more time, and probably the last time, to top stitch around the edges. So you are not going to top stitch up to the drawstring channel. You just top stitching. Your stitches will stop right at the right below the drawstring channels, which is what I'm showing you right now. Make sure you do not top stitch into the drawstring channels. Don't forget to back stitch at the beginning and at the end of your sewing. We're basically done. If you open the interior of your bag, you realize that there are no raw edges and your lining is so snug and tight. If you got to this point of your sewing or of this bag, you deserve a standing ovation. As soon as we are done, in fact we are done, we're going to be adding the drawstring. So for your drawstrings, you can use anything at all you feel works the best. I think you can use a cording. I believe you should be able to use the bias binding. If you're using bias binding, I think you might have to do a bit of sewing. So you're going to attach a safety pin or a bodkin to one end of the drawstring and thread it through the channel on one side, then back through the other side. Once this is done, you're going to thread one side through the side connector and you're going to be knotting the ends. After knotting the ends, so what I did was I did mine twice. I did knotting twice, and then I went ahead to melt the end of my drawstring with a lighter. Just do whatever you think works for whatever you're using. We're going to repeat this process with the other side of the drawstring channel. As soon as you knot your ends, you are good to go. So like I said earlier, if your drawstring decides to play hide and seek with you, just don't panic. Just grab your pin and just get back on track, and you will be all right. And just like that, friends, we've wrapped up not just this tutorial, but also our entire 25 days sewing challenge. Can you believe that? We've made bags, learned new techniques, and shared so many laughs along the way. I cannot thank you enough for riding with me this past 25 days. And it's been a whirlwind of stitches, themes, and creativity, and it wouldn't have been the same without you. As we close out the year, I want to wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas, filled with love, laughter, and lots of handmade goodies. If you'd like to see this challenge return next year, let me know in the comment section below. I'm always here for your feedback and ideas. Until next year, stay creative, keep sewing, and don't forget, every stitch brings us closer to our dreams. Thank you for being a part of this amazing journey. See you in the new year, bigger, better, and full of even more sewing adventures. Merry Christmas, everyone.